1897 UFO incident in Aurora, Texas, U.S. The Aurora, Texas, UFO incident reportedly occurred on April 17, 1897, when, according to locals, a UFO crashed on a farm near Aurora, Texas, United States. The incident is claimed to have resulted in the death of the pilot, an alien, not of this world. A stone was placed as a marker for the grave, but has since been removed. On April 19, 1897, an article in the Dallas Morning News written by S.E. Hayden described the UFO crash. The UFO is said to have hit a windmill on the property of a Judge J.S. Proctor 2 days earlier at around 6 a.m. local time, resulting in its crash. The pilot did not survive the crash, and was buried, with Christian rites, by a traveling pastor named William Russell Tabor at the nearby Aurora Cemetery. The cemetery contains a Texas Historical Commission marker mentioning the incident. Reportedly, wreckage from the crash site was dumped into a nearby well located under the damaged windmill, while some ended up with the alien in the grave. Adding to the mystery was the story of Mr. Brawley Oates, who purchased Judge Proctor's property around 1935. Oates cleaned out the debris from the well in order to use it as a water source, but later developed an extremely severe case of arthritis, which he claimed to be the result of contaminated water from the wreckage dumped into the well. As a result, Oates sealed up the well with a concrete slab and placed an outbuilding atop the slab. The hoax theory is primarily based on a 1980 Time magazine interview with Etta Pegues, an 86-year-old Aurora resident who claimed that Hayden had fabricated the entire story, stating that Hayden wrote it as a joke and to bring interest to Aurora. The railroad bypassed us, and the town was dying. Pegues further claimed that Judge Proctor never operated a windmill on his property, a statement later disputed in an episode of UFO Hunters, which found what they claimed to be the base of a wooden water pump tower constructed around the well. Paranormal researcher Jerry Drake on the April 12, 2020, episode of the Monster Talk Live podcast challenged that finding, noting the well was clearly a bucket well of modern construction, estimated to be built sometime after 1940, and not a well designed for use with a windmill. The incident has been investigated on numerous occasions. One report was broadcast by local television station KDFW Fox 4 and 2 other reports aired on cable television. In 1998, Dallas-based Fox-affiliated station KDFW aired a lengthy report about the Aurora incident. Reporter Richard Ray interviewed former Fort Worth Star-Telegram reporter Jim Mars and other locals, who said something crashed in Aurora. Ray reported that the state of Texas erected a historical plaque in town that outlines the tale and labels it "Legend." On December 19, 2005, UFO Files first aired an episode related to this incident, titled Texas's Roswell. The episode featured a 1973 investigation led by Bill Case, an aviation writer for the Dallas Times-Herald and the Texas State Director of Mutual UFO Network. Mary Evans, who was 15 at the time, told of how her parents went to the crash site and the discovery of the alien body. Charlie Stevens, who was age 10, told how he saw the airship trailing smoke as it headed north toward Aurora. He wanted to see what happened, but his father made him finish his chores. Later, he told how his father went to town the next day and saw wreckage from the crash. MUFON then investigated the Aurora Cemetery and uncovered a grave marker that appeared to show a flying saucer of some sort, as well as readings from its metal detector. MUFON asked for permission to exhume the site, but the Cemetery Association declined permission. After the MUFON investigation, the marker mysteriously disappeared from the cemetery and a 3-inch pipe was placed into the ground. MUFON's metal detector no longer picked up metal readings from the grave, thus it was presumed that the metal was removed from the grave. MUFON's report eventually stated that the evidence was inconclusive, but did not rule out the possibility of a hoax. On November 19, 2008, UFO Hunters first aired another television documentary regarding the Aurora incident, titled First Contact. The documentary featured one notable change from the UFO Files story. Tim Oates, grandson of Brawley Oates and the now owner of the property with the sealed well where the UFO wreckage was purportedly buried, allowed the investigators to unseal the well, in order to examine it for possible debris. Water was taken from the well which tested normal except for large amounts of aluminum present. The well had no significant contents. It was stated in the episode that any large pieces of metal had been removed from the well by a past owner of the property. Further, the remains of a windmill base were found near the well site, which refuted Ms. Pegues' statements that Judge Proctor never had a windmill on his property. The Aurora Cemetery was again examined. Although the Cemetery Association still did not permit exhumation, using ground-penetrating radar and photos from prior visits, an unmarked grave was found in the area near other 1890s graves. The condition of the grave was badly deteriorated, and the radar could not conclusively prove what type of remains existed. The incident is dramatized in the 1986 film The Aurora Encounter, as well as being discussed within History Channel's Ancient Aliens third season premiere that focuses on late 19th century UFO sightings in Western North America. An independent short movie co-written and co-directed by musician and historian Thomas Negevin and Aaron Shaps simply entitled Aurora dramatizes the incident as well as combines it with the Nazi conspiracy theory of Die Glock. The incident is satirized in the Firesign Theater's 1974 comedy LP Everything You Know Is Wrong, performed from about 3 o'clock to 4:42 on Side A, with following thematic references. The Aurora incident is a key plot point in the BBC Sounds sci-fi audio drama The Cipher.